Season 2, all in with the A's. Cue the intro. When you look around Major League Baseball right now, one of the most exciting young offenses is the Athletics. You've got Shea Bangaliers behind the dish who had a breakout last season. In the outfield, from left to right, you've got Brent Rooker, Denzel Clark, and Lawrence Butler. At shortstop, you've got Jacob Wilson. You've also got Tyler Soderstrom recently extended, and I haven't even mentioned the man, the big Amish Nick Kurtz.
Oh! Kurtz! Good night! 1-2. High drive to center field. He has done it again. Take a bow, curtsy.
So with this young core, I have got 3 seasons, 3 episodes to go all in with the A's. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. You are not going to want to miss this series. We are picking up right where we left off here. It's the offseason of 2026, October 31st. We've got a couple of exclusive free agents, Santiago Espinal, who I brought in to hit against lefties last year, and he did end up doing okay. I don't really think I need to bring him back, and we also are losing Walker Buehler, who ended up having an okay season, but I probably don't want to bring him back either. Now, if you recall from Season 1, I'm trying to keep the budget pretty tight here, 150 or less. A lot of our core is already locked up, so there's not too much to do. We signed Shea Bangaliers to a 3-year deal, which obviously has 2 years left. Maley, our ace, as well. We extended Soderstrom just like in real life. This is the last year for Jeffrey Springs. We brought on Colt Keith. Very affordable deal. I think he's going to be playing a lot this year. So I've got about $30 million to play with. I don't know if I'm going to use all of that, but this is where we are starting here. And lucky for me, a lot of our brightest young stars are still on renewable contracts. Wilson and Kurtz, both on renewable contracts. They will be up for ARB next season. So it's a good thing some of the other deals are coming off the books because these guys are probably going to ask for a pretty penny, and deservedly so. I don't need to do a whole lot, if anything, with the lineup. These guys were the #1 offense in the league last year in terms of runs scored. I may add some pieces to the bench and potentially bring up a prospect. We already have Devin Taylor up here, who's looking pretty promising, but I do think I will bring up Braden Baker. We'll see. He's not got good defense right now, but could be an effective pinch hitter. Just a pretty good bat. Bullpen should be fine. I think most of these guys, if not all these guys, are coming back. We'll see if there's any other good options out there, but no real concerns right now. These guys were great last year. Leo DeVry is still here in Double-A. We're going to be keeping our eyes out for him this year. He's at 73 overall. Still need to see more improvement across the board before he's going to get a call-up. The CPU has Braden Baker, our left fielder, being 81 overall for next season, which will be the final season, and it has Leo DeVry being 80 overall at that point, so hopefully he can play a factor. I have got so much good starting pitching here that we have got to make use of it, and do you remember Freddy Cabraw from the last draft, who was 80 overall, I believe 84 potential, left-hander? I thought about taking him in the first round, was not able to get him. He went to the Cardinals. I'm going to give the Cardinals a haul of starting pitching, 2 guys that can start for them next year who are cheap. Last year of Jeffrey Springs' contract, he should have one more decent season in him, but I think we could do a little better since we're in go-for-it mode, and the Cardinals are rebuilding, so in that case, I'm going to give them one of our A potential starter prospects for Freddy Cabraw. I also want this reliever, Kyle Leahy. Look at those stats, 100 innings last year at a 2.60 ERA. I feel really good about this move. Cabral is immediately going on to the 40-man and coming up to the MLB for next year. I also love that we have 2 lefties in the starting rotation. I'm obsessed with having good lefty starters. I missed this last season. Osvaldo Bido, he didn't play at all, but he was waived in real life in 2025 by the Athletics, and the Braves picked him up. So I want to send him over the Braves, and I am just going to grab literally their worst player. Steven Jackson, welcome to the A's. I want to flip this shortstop prospect, Darnell Hernaiz, over to the Red Sox for Romy Gonzalez, who is currently in arbitration, 30 years old. He could play all the infield positions, and he hits lefties well. That's what I'm looking for, both a bench bat and a new lefty killer for us. I like this move. With our budget already at 121 and estimated ARB renewable at 19, that puts us at 140. So I can't really go after any free agents that are going to be impactful. I don't really need any right now, and we'll have to wait till episode 3 for when Severino and McNeil are off the books. That's going to be an extra $40 million to play with. Looking around the league, did anybody in our division make any big moves. Astros, 11-21 there, signed one of the best starters, Chris Bubich, 8 years, $325. Mariners came in second to us last year. Looks like they signed David Bednar back there in the bullpen on February 3rd. They also re-signed J.P. Crawford for 3 years. And they upgraded at first base. Ryan Mountcastle, 6 years, $90. The Rangers haven't done What is going on over here in Texas? You know, if only it was this easy in real life. You just make a couple trades, find guys with like 80 walks per nine, and there you go. All of a sudden, you're one of the best teams in the league. Here we go, Season 2. Opening up against the Blue Jays at home. We put so many good pieces in place last year in the pitching staff, obviously the offense, the core is already there, so there really was just not a whole lot to do in this offseason. We just need to play well again and hopefully return to the playoffs. Blue Jays had 83 wins last year in 2026, not as good as they are in real life. They've been going all in. Here's Vladdy Jr. He reaches for that one, strike 3. Are there any Canadian fans following the channel? Let me know in the comments. That's a base hit from Santander. We might have a play at the plate. Throw home is in time. Ranger Suarez is the opening day starter for the Blue Jays. Very good in this roster. And Canadian fans, I think I've got something coming up for you in the next few weeks. Yeah. Suarez is nasty. What are they paying him? Oh, baby. Jacob Wilson up the middle, starts the year with a base hit. Remember, he led the league in hits last season. And here is our superstar, Nick Kurtz. How does he perform this year? That is deep into right, and it's a gapper off the very top of the wall. Throw coming home, offline. Runner did not go. Second and third here, 1 out. And one other storyline for us to follow. I think Shea Langoliers is beginning to regress. We're going to have to keep our eye on him. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4, bases loaded. Jeff McNeil. Grounder third. Oh, boy, you better hustle. That's a double play. And back-to-back solo shots for the Blue Jays. They're up 2-0. Rooker. That's a laser beam. Trying to come back here in the bottom of the third. That's all the way to the wall. Wilson headed to the plate. It's 2-1. Andres Gimenez solo shot. It is 3-1. And Vladdy follows it up with another one. It's 4-1. And it went to 5-1 before McNeil drives one in and Soderstrom with a 2-run shot. Remember, he led the league in home runs last year. Blue Jays brought the lefty in just to face Kurtz here. 1 for 3 on the day. 3-2 pitch. Hit hard. Out into left. I think he popped it up, though, and Santander settles under that. It's still 5-4. As long as the bullpen can keep us in it, we've got a shot today, but it's not going well. MacArthur struggling, giving up a run. Brent Rooker is going to get a shot here. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Winning run comes to the plate. It is Nick Kurtz. Down to his final strike. Runner's going for second. That was a little aggressive. It's Brent Rooker, and we're going to lose the game. We do bounce back at Game 2 and Game 3, where Jamie Arnold went 5 1/3, giving up only 1 run. And I want to jump into this game against the Cardinals because our rookie starter we just traded for is on the mound today. And Rooker gives him a cushion right out of the gate here with a solo shot. It is 1-0. And here is the left-hander straight out of the draft onto the mound, Freddy Cabraw. First batter he faces is Brendan Donovan. Here's a 1-2 pitch. He strikes him out on a heater. Cardinals are not a very good team, so this is a decent way for him to ease into his major league career. St. Louis is going through a pretty big rebuild right now. So far, he has looked excellent. A lot of energy remaining, and he is through 5 clean innings, only giving up 1 hit. We are all the way into the 9th, and Cabral is still on the mound. He's got to face the top of the lineup here, but he's looking at a complete game shutout, although he is up to 95 pitches. 2-2 to Donovan. Fly out to center. Clark's got that. Not only does Cabral have high walks per 9, he also has 86 stamina. Here is pitch number 102. It's another pop out. He's just 1 out away. Probably the Cardinals' best hitter here, Ivan Herrero. That's into right. It's going to get down. Throw to second from Butler's in time. A little help from his friends, and that's a complete game shutout. That was electric. That is as good of a debut as you can do, aside from a no-hitter, I guess. And we are 6-3 heading into the first week of scouting. I think I mentioned back in episode 1 that I've had trouble finding the scouts I want here. Will Jackson is my position player scout. As you can see, he's got 92 efficiency, but only 89 for position player. So I don't love it. I was able to get a good pitcher scout, though. So I'll be continuing to look at starting pitchers by region, as those are the most valuable. And as far as position players, I'm just going to try to find the highest potential guys that I can get. After our playoff run last year, we pick at number 27, but we do pick again at 38. And unfortunately, we probably won't see anybody that I draft from this point going forward. I still love scouting and drafting and showing it to you, but the biggest thing that we could do is get more trade capital, and of course I don't want to tank the A's farm system. I want to continue to build it up throughout this series as well. We do not have many division games at all here in April, actually, and I'm kind of surprised by that. We do play the Angels in 2 series, but they really struggled last year, and we also play Texas later in next week, and they also struggled last season. We don't face our biggest contenders until the middle of May, and that would be the Mariners, who came in second place to us last year. And first signs with Mark Fishman are promising here. He stayed in the same spot that he was, contact hitting right fielder. Could be pretty good. Looks like Brent Rooker's picked up right where he left off last season. He is hot already this year with the 990 OPS, but unfortunately the big Amish is struggling out of the gate. 15 games into the year, he's batting 143. Hopefully he can pick that up. Wilson's on fire, and so is Shea Langoliers, and I can't tell just yet if he is regressing or not. Either way, 5 homers through 14 starts. He's got an OPS of 939. And take a look at Severino, 3 starts into the year, .84 ERA, and also Freddy Cabraw with a 1.23. Jamie Arnold, a bit of a slow start to the year. I'm hoping he turns this around, especially after how good his debut was at the end of last season. His success is a big part of our success, so I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but let's see what he's got. And he had a quality start today against the Rangers, going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs with 9 Ks. That's a good start. We would sweep him in that series, and now we've won the first 2 in a 3-game set against the D-backs. We are 15-6 on a great pace. Right now, 5 players have OPSs above 900, and one of them is Denzel Clark. That is beautiful to see. Not only is he doing it in the field with diving plays, he's doing it at the plate so far in 2027. And Mick Fishman does look like a decent first-round pick for us. Again, my scout doesn't have a lot of efficiency, but he did move up the board a little bit. It might be hard to take him over some of these pitchers, though, including Stroud, who's moved up to 7th after just 1 week of scouting. Astros are out in front by 1 here, top 9, 2 on, 1 out for Wilson. And they're going to walk Wilson. Hater's not sure about that. And that means that Nick Kurtz is going to get an at-bat. He is cold right now. Now, Kurtz is no stranger to this ballpark. He had a 4-homer game, one of the greatest individual performances of all time here in Houston. Hater, though, is not an easy guy to make good contact off of. Here's an 0-2 pitch. He stares at it. That leaves it up to Brent Rooker, our best hitter so far once again. He has not been great with runners in scoring position, though, batting only 161 on the season, down to his final strike here. Hater delivers, and he got him. That was the first game of the series. We also lose the second game, and we end up salvaging the third. Into our weekend series against LA, it's raining here. We're up 1. Runners on the corners, though, with Freddie Freeman somehow in the 9-hole. We traded for Kyle Leahy from the Cardinals during this offseason, and he has been our closer so far this year. 5-1 in save opportunities, but this is certainly going to be a test. Freeman, that might be a double play. Smooth throw by Kurtz. Wilson right back to him, and we close it out. Do not sleep on Kurtz's defense. He is not just a hitter. Look at that throw. And he gets back to the bag to make the snag. And during that win, Maile outdueled Shohei. He went 7 innings, giving up only 1. And on the other side, Shohei went 6 and gave up 2. We sweep LA, giving up only 3 runs in the 3 games. And to finish April, we're 23-11, but the Mariners are close behind, 1 game back. And I found my new leader in the clubhouse here for round 1. Right fielder Luis Lugo has risen up to the 9th spot. And there's also been some good pitchers rising up the board here, including our discovery guy, Nick Stroud. Meanwhile, we also found closer Eric Nobles here, fun name, and I have high hopes for him because there are several zeros in his profile. I will definitely be scouting him in later weeks. It is finally time for this mid-May AL West matchup with Seattle. And as you can see, they are still right behind us in the division, just 1 game back. Cabral is back on the hill, 3.61 ERA, 1.14 whip. Pretty good. This is appointment viewing today. 2 powerhouses out in the West. Runner's going to go for second. That's our backup catcher. I had to rest Shea today. And so now a runner in scoring position for Julio. 2-2 pitch is right at the bottom of the zone. Strike 3 at the knees. The biggest change for the Mariners is they added Brian Reynolds. I think I missed that when I was looking in the offseason. They know it's go time if they want to compete with us, as we are all in. Ground ball to third. That's bobbled by Keith. Throw to first is not in time. And it looks like Cal is sitting today. Here's Harry Ford, who has been traded in real life, if I'm not mistaken. Ford, ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Luis Castillo still doing it. La Piedra, 34 years old, just an icon for the M's. Castillo seems like he's going to be on his game today. It might be a challenge for our guy Cabraw to match him. Kurtz is finally starting to heat up, batting .247 now with 8 home runs here, and that's hung down the middle. 101 off the bat, but it's floating, and it's on the track. Over the wall! Julio, if he couldn't rob it, nobody can, let me tell you. I am surprised that carried out. Looks like the wind is blowing out to left center. The sun's gone down, and Cabraw has settled in. Top of the 6th now. He's only given up that 1 run in the first, but there's 2 runners on with 2 outs here for Dylan Moore. Julio on second, Ford on first, 1-2 pitch, strike 3. We just need our offense to get into it now. It's still 1-1, but it's 2-1. Cabraw's out of the game. Clark with a double ties it up. We're back at 2-2. And it was a pitcher's duel today, but Clark drove in a run in the 9th. We take the victory 3-2. So far, things are working out for Cabraw, and Junis went 2 scoreless innings there with 3 strikeouts. The rotation's been good once again, 3.34 ERA, and it's Luis Severino out front with Arnold and Cabraw right behind him. That was game 1, and in game 2, we lose 6-0. Game 3, we do get the win. And I had high hopes for Boone Neely. He was looking good after 1 week, but now he's dropped down to 90th, and I'm no longer interested. I wish we had a higher pick because this first baseman, Freddie Connor, looks insane, but I don't think he's better than Nick Kurtz. I had to go scout, but we do end up losing game 4, splitting the series with Seattle. We're still only 1 game in front, and the Astros are lurking too. And a week later, the M's are only a half game behind. We are just barely stiff-arming them away. I can feel them breathing down our neck, though. And I did find a high-potential college first baseman, Sonny Kubek, and he looks pretty good. Maybe a nice mid-round pick. And the day has finally come. The Mariners have overtaken the division, and the Astros continue to climb up as well. The rotation has kind of cooled off a little bit. Besides Severino and Arnold, who are still pitching well, Spence, Cabral, and Maley, not quite as good as they started out. Leahy, Beeks, and Junis have been phenomenal, but Tyson Miller and also Xavier Curry, surprisingly, have struggled. Curry's got a 5 ERA right now. I think my main concern in the lineup is Colt Keith. We've not been able to figure out third base so far through these 2 episodes. He's got an OPS under 700. And Jeff McNeil is definitely regressing in the last year of his contract here, but the good news is that Shea Langoliers is not. That was smoke and mirrors. And again, June has very little division games. We only play the Angels at the very end of the month. I guess we're going to be packing it in much later in the year. Looking in September, that's when we play Seattle twice. Finally, in Week 11, I discover somebody here, 12th ranked player in the class, and again, it's a right fielder. He probably will fall down the board a little bit, but even if he has beat potential, that contact vision, a disciplined build, looks really promising. I think Fuentes might be a gem, so after I finish scouting him, I'm definitely moving over to that right fielder. And finally, we go on a run, winning 6 games in a row. We're back up in tie with the Mariners. This has really gone back and forth. And Fuentes isn't what I thought he would be. It's really frustrating that I don't have a higher efficiency scout. Maybe Brooks Little can save the day for us. Facing our early rival here, the Tampa Bay Rays. Clevenger was struggling to find the zone, but the count is back up to full. 3-2 pitch on the way. This is for the game. It's a ball. And that means one of our best lefty hitters, Shea Langoliers, gets an at-bat. Bases loaded. Top of the 9th. Looking for some revenge. 2-strike pitch. And he chased it. The Rays continue to cause some problems for us. We do bounce back in Game 2 of the series, and now in Game 3, the bases are loaded again. Stop me if I've said this before, but it's Clevenger on the mound, but this time Rooker at the plate. Rooker, line drive to center. That's Chandler Simpson out there. Throw is cut off and not thrown home. We take the lead. So we get that run, but right away our closer, Kyle Leahy's given up 2 singles. Runners on the corners with nobody out. Leahy's not really a strikeout pitcher, but that's back-to-back strikeouts. Only 1 out away now. He's gotten himself into trouble. Can he get himself out of trouble? He's far away from it now, though. 3-0 pitch to Chandler Simpson, and that's a walk. The bases are loaded. Here comes another great contact hitter, Jake Mangum, who was traded to the Pirates in real life. And that is down the middle, but it's a flyout. Leahy managed to narrowly escape this one. The sweet taste of revenge for our 50th win, but that was during the regular season. We still would need to take them down in the playoffs to really bring it full circle. Just before we go to the draft, we did take 2 games from Seattle, and we are back in first place. Not a big fan of my draft board at all this year. If I cannot get right fielder Luis Lugo, who moved up to the 10th ranked player in the class, maybe I would take first base, Sonny Kubek with that guaranteed high potential, but most likely I'm going to be taking a lot of starting pitchers once again. We do have that closer Novelis, and then later down in the class, I've got this right fielder Brooks Little, but he's going to have maybe high C potential. At least the contact is good. And what do you know? Lugo is off the board. The Pirates sniped him with the 16th pick. On top of that, my favorite starter got taken just 2 picks before us, Aubrey Lester. Since Kubik is ranked lower in the class and Stroud and Novelis are both discovery, I think my best move here is to take this starter Lorenzo Domingo. I think he's going to be pretty good. I didn't finish his profile, but he did move up from 54 to 28. I just feel like this is the smart pick. And if I don't pick Kubik here at 38, I don't think I'm going to be taking a position player in this entire class, so I've got to go with him here. Everyone else on my board is discovery, so I guess I might as well just take Nick Stroud here with pick number 57. Let's take the best closer in the class here, Eric Novelis, with pick number 103. I think it's time we take a flyer. Let's go for catcher James Kim. No idea. I guess there is a small chance that Brooks Little comes in with 70 overall and 85 potential. I kind of doubt it, but because his contact is so good, I just want to take him. Why not? And we'll finish it off with the discovery starter, Josh Hamilton, and I don't think he's that good. Not my favorite draft ever here in Season 2. At least we sweep the Mariners heading into the All-Star break. And the number 1 first baseman here is Nick Kurtz. He is up to 98 overall, and all of a sudden he's on fire, over a 1.0 OPS. He is already up to 5 WAR, which is almost what he had for the entire season last year. And besides him, Brent Rooker is also here. Back-to-back All-Stars for Rooker. 858 OPS right now. Not quite as good as last year, but still solid. I've got some other good news to share, though. Romy Gonzalez, who I signed to hit lefties, is doing great, batting almost 300 with a 900 OPS in his part-time role. 42 games so far. Paying him $6.6 million, I think it's worth it. We're really vulnerable against lefties. And if right field wasn't completely stacked with guys like Soto and Acuna, Tatis, Lawrence Butler could be there. He's got an 886 OPS at the break. Wilson, Soderstrom, and Clark, not bad. Langoliers is cold once again, and honestly, our floor is pretty high. I'm happy with the offense. For our starters, everybody's below a 4 ERA, but it is Luis Severino pitching the best, 2.84. We continue to have good arms in the bullpen, especially Kyle Leahy, our closer, 27-2, but a couple of guys are strangely not pitching well, both Curry and Miller, who were insane last year. These were like our best 2 relievers. Oh man, that is unfortunate. I didn't see this. Our first baseman from the draft is injured, so we're going to have to see how he ends up looking. I'm pretty sure that did not pop up until after I got him. I don't think I've checked on the farm system at all this season. I'm looking at Leo DeVry. He's struggling against lefties a bit. 715 OPS in Double-A, not really slugging at all, so need to see some more out of him before he moves up. I really hope we can see him by Season 3. Even worse results for Braden Baker. He looked like he was on the fast track to the majors. Seems like he cannot get anything going at the plate. I've actually got to send him down a level back to Double-A with DeVry. Our closer is doing good, so that's positive. And we do have a couple of starters here in Double-A that are doing great. Both Kevin Ryan and especially Luther Garrison is pitching phenomenally. Not a prospect, but just notable here that Tyler Mahle has made it up to 90 overall. I don't know what his max potential is. He's improving a lot, not pitching as good as I know he can. The Cardinals are still really, really bad. 20 games under 500. I've grabbed a few guys from them, and I want to grab another. This is the last year for Donovan, and he's having a great year. His potential's gone up. 16 milli. We don't have to pay all of that, and I'm going to give them Jeff McNeil, so we'll swap that. They'll save a little bit of money there, but for them, the big haul here is the fact that I'm giving them one of our great pitchers, Ozzie Chassin. I've drafted all these pitchers for a reason. We need to make a boost here at the deadline and secure this first place in the division. It is a short-term rental, but I do think he will be a very impactful bat for us. There's really no good relief options here to help in the bullpen, and I like the guys that we have in the bullpen, even though they're having a down year. I know what they're capable of, so I think that is going to be my only move, Brendan Donovan. We can't quite seem to separate any further from the Mariners and the Astros. We are the division lead. The team's looking good. We added Donovan. I'm happy about it. We did win a series against Texas, and then we won 3 out of 4 against LA. So we are doing our job, taking care of the teams that we need to beat. I don't feel too good about our draft, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off and take a look at our picks. Okay. All right. Well, a lot of C potential at the bottom here, but there are a few good guys at the top, especially Lorenzo Domingo. This is a great pitcher. First round, 2027 here, 90 potential, 61 overall. Really good stats. Unfortunate, We won't see him in the series, but hey, I still want to do right by the A's. And miraculously, Sonny Kubek was not impacted too bad. He's still 56 overall, though, at 21 after that injury. So high potential. That's good. I think besides Domingo, my favorite pick here is this closer, Eric Nobles. I don't find too many young closers with high potential like this, 19 years old versus 21, 22 years old. I missed out on somebody here, George Ayala, 99 potential third baseman, 19 years old. That's a great pick for the Phillies in their third round. Did I have Lesher on the board? I feel like that name rings a bell. 92 potential starting pitcher. He looks really good, left-handed too. Oh, man. Luis Lugo. That was my guy. 98 potential. He looks excellent, and he is on the Pirates. Just need to keep pushing forward here. I've got my eyes on a Houston series late in the month here, 27th, 28th, 29th, and then we play the Mariners twice, 2 series in September. Until then, though, it's a lot of out-of-division games, so we're kind of getting a feel of how we compete against other teams against the league. The Yankees are dominating us. It looks like Cabral might be able to go for a shutout. He's been a highlight for us this year, coming straight into the deep end, straight into the majors, out of the draft. We traded for him, and going great, 3.5 ERA. The Yankees won the first 2 games of this series, and now we're putting a hurting on them today, up 11-0. 3-2 here to Judge, right down the middle. We're shifted over there. Donovan makes the play. And it looks like the Yankees have called up Spencer Jones. He is much better against righties, and this is why I love having lefties in the rotation. Both Cabral and Jamie Arnold, 2 young southpaws having a lot of success for us. Weak popper, and Soderstrom makes the catch. Complete game shutout for Cabral. Kurtz, Soderstrom, Wilson, and Langoliers all homered in that game. That was a big momentum one for us as we go now to face Cleveland, and we lose 2 in a row, but we do even out the series. I just took a sneak peek at the MVP race, and our guy Nick Kurtz is in the lead right now. 306 average, 44 home runs, 103 RBI. He is ahead of Pasquantino and Raleigh. 99 overall. He's rounded out quite a bit better against lefties, maxed out against righties. He's also got great discipline and defense. What a player. And both Arnold and Cabral are on the board for Rookie of the Year. Arnold is up to 81 overall, but he's getting beat out by a 90 overall Roman Anthony. That's insane. I don't know how he is just now a rookie. I'm shocked that Boston is just starting to play him at this point. He's only got a 725 OPS right now. And I've been training Jacob Wilson's defense throughout these couple of episodes so far, and it's gotten to a place now where he is on the board for Gold Glove. No surprise at all, though, that Denzel Clark is leading for Gold Glove in center field. And speaking of league leaders, Kurtz is number 1 for home runs, and Soderstrom in second after winning it last year with 48. He has played very well as of late, and his potential has gone up to A, and now this contract's looking even better. We are tied with the Astros at the top of the division. They are 8th in runs scored. We're all the way up here at 2nd. And we're 3rd in ERA, just behind the Braves here and also the Dodgers. The team is really, really good. I'm surprised we're not well out in front of the Astros, especially because their ERA is all the way down at 13th. Maybe just getting a little bit unlucky. Hopefully we can finish strong here for the rest of this season. Very end of August here, we're playing Houston, and the bases are loaded for Yordan. Jacob Junis on the mound. He's got his work cut out for him. And Yordan, good lord. I thought that was 800 feet. Ball sounds a little different coming off of his bat. That's hit hard. Out into right. And if it's not gone, it's going to be a walk-off either way. And there you go, grand slam. Not the guy you want to see with the bases loaded there. And by the way, Junis is starting to regress here, and he's not been as reliable this year. His ERA is over a full point higher. Same thing with our high-leverage lefty, Jalen Beeks. Now he's surpassed his potential up to 80 overall, but again, about a full point higher in ERA. Our bullpen was so nasty last season. We're just not quite as good this year besides Jay MacArthur, who's really taken a leap. Thankfully, the rotation is much better. Our highest ERA is Jamie Arnold with a 4.01, but he's developed super well. I'm not really mad about it. Houston ends up sweeping us in that series. That is not good. And for September call-ups, I think we need to bring Chacon up. We need some help in the bullpen. He's improved a ton this year. He's pitching pretty well, 2.45 ERA in AAA. Just 19 years old. I have put him on the 40-man, and I'm moving him to the MLB. We are 1 game back with 1 month to go. What a competition so far in this division. I'm really hoping we can just cruise our way through September here, but this is our first series against Seattle. We win game 1 9-1. We lose game 2, and this game is for the series. We lose the series, and now we're 2 games back. We've got to get hot here. I want to get that first round bye, but we're taking more L's. We lose another series before we face a very good Braves team. We win game 1, we win game 2, and we do end up getting that series, and now we're facing Seattle again. And in game 1, there is a very good pitching matchup. Our ace, Tyler Mahley's on the mound going up against Logan Gilbert in Seattle. It is packed here in the stadium. Gilbert has a 2.39 ERA on the season. He's striking out a lot of guys and walking almost nobody. This is a pretty good litmus test for how good this team is today. Very good pitching matchup, playoff level matchup, and also this is a good challenge for Mahley because there are a lot of strong hitters in that Mariners lineup. We've got 2 on in the top of the second with 2 outs, and a bench bat is playing today, outfielder Devin Taylor. Taylor, line drive, just foul. That would have been great if he could have snuck that up the line there. Crowd cheering on Gilbert. Here's the 1-2, and that's flown out to center. And the very next inning, top of the third, we've got 2 on again, this time with 1 out in the middle of the order coming up. Soderstrom gets drilled in the elbow. Staring down Gilbert there. It's getting testy here. Lawrence Butler's had a very good season so far, but he gets jammed on that one. It's up to Shea now with the bases loaded. 2-2. Got him. Cannot let Gilbert keep getting away with this. Our pitching staff is hot right now. 2.42 ERA in the last series. The floor is pretty high for our guys, but as soon as I say that, Kerstad gets the M's on the board with a solo shot. And that's right down the middle. 96 off the bat. Soderstrom going back, and he makes the catch. Mahley is 90 overall, and Gilbert is 95 overall, but Nick Kurtz is 99 overall. That's a solo shot, and we follow up with some more runs. Mahley has outlasted Gilbert, and he still has some energy. He needs to get through the top of the lineup, and he does. Coming out for a 6th inning of work. He's got 2 outs. That's a single for Reynolds, another single for Ford, but he gets out of the inning. One more got to get. Dylan Moore, and Leahy strikes him out. Mahley outduels Gilbert, and the 39th save for Kyle Leahy as we win game 2, and we do get the series, but not able to finish out a sweep. And as we get towards the end of the season, Denzel Clark is going to be out for a couple weeks with a sprained knee. We are certainly going to miss him defensively, but at least he'll be back for the playoffs. Although I say that, he might not be there for the wild card, and right now that's where we're slotted for. We have bench guys I can draw from, but nobody's defense is as close to Clark's. Butler's going to have to take over center. We go on to sweep Washington here, 1 game back, and before the stats are gone for our prospects, I need to check in on them real quick. I see that our 2 best starter prospects from the 2025 draft both had great years in AA. They'll be in AAA next year, and maybe they can impact us later in the season. The main guy I need to see, though, is Leo DeVry. He's up to 76 overall, improved a lot of discipline and added some contact, 753 OPS. He's still not quite slugging yet, but the on-base percentage is elite. And the last guy to check in on is Braden Baker, who has the best chance to join us in the show. If you remember, I had to move him down to AA, and he did very well there. He'll be starting in AAA again next year, hoping for a call-up. 2 more series to go, Detroit and Minnesota. Let's see how we do. We win game 1. And, Severino, our best starter this year, out for the rest of the season with a broken forearm. This is not good. We don't have a ton of immediate depth that can step in, although Joey Estes does have high walks per 9, and he is going to have to get at least 1 start here to finish out the year. Back to the series against Detroit, we win game 2. Mitch Spence gives us the win in game 3, and now we're tied for the top of the division. It all comes down to this. Cabral starts today, we lose. Mahley starts this game, and we're down 1. Soderstrom at the plate with the runner on first. Another great year for him. Can he come up clutch here against a very good reliever, Cole Sands? That's 2 strikes. 1-2. On the way, got him. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is in this game. If it is run differential, which we are by far the best out of the Astros and the Mariners. All 3 of us have clinched, but who is going to win the division? Final game of the year, we win, and we're going to be a wild card team facing the Mariners. 98 wins this year. Another great season coming off of 102 from episode 1. I'm really happy with the team. I don't think I could have done much more. The Astros eke us out by 1 more win, but look at the run differential. We scored more than 60 runs, higher than they did, and we gave up less. We were second to only the Dodgers in runs scored, with Kurtz and Wilson really leading the way. Kurtz might be getting an MVP. We'll see in a second. The Mariners were in 4th, and scrolling down, the Astros were 10th. We led the league in home runs by more than 30, with Kurtz having 54. And we were 3rd in ERA, just ahead of the Mariners. This is a really, really good team once again. The Astros were all the way down at 9th. How did they beat us out? We did all of this with a $144 million budget, which I think is pretty good. The other teams definitely spent more than we did to accomplish this same result. It's a sad way to go out for Severino, though, because it's his last year with us, and he's not going to be here for our playoff run. Let's take a look at the awards page. What do we have here? Hank Aaron for Nick Kurtz, and an AL MVP for the Big Amish. He takes down Yordan and Bobby Witt. That is so impressive from Kurtz. Look at this improvement, especially against lefties. 1. OPS. How much WAR? 8.3. He has now got a full awards page coming off that Rookie of the Year. He's got an MVP, Hank Aaron, 2-time Silver Slugger, an All-Star, and a home run champion. And unfortunately, Arnold and Cabral both come up just short for Rookie of the Year. Roman Anthony takes it home. And shout out to Tyler Soderstrom, who's up to 90 overall. He's pushed past his ceiling. Last year, he had 48 home runs, and this year, 45, 115, and 116 RBI, respectively. This is a very good lineup, extremely potent offense. Rooker had an 880 OPS. Brendan Donovan, 834, spending half the season with us. Butler, 796. Romy Gonzalez, 787. Even some bench guys are up here. If there is anybody who didn't have a good year, it's Jacob Wilson. He slugged a lot less than last season. Estes, by the way, had a really good start in the one that he got this season. Leahy and MacArthur were unbelievable in the bullpen. Leahy 44-3 with a 157, .91 whip. And Severino was our best pitcher, but obviously he's not going to be here for us in the postseason. He had almost 200 innings despite missing 2 starts. This is going to be a challenge. We still have Maley, Cabral, Spence, and Arnold as our 4, but man, we lost some punch in the rotation without having Severino. In the bullpen, I did shift things around a little bit. I took Jacob Junis out of the high leverage and put James MacArthur in there. This is about to be an electric series. Both teams with 98 wins. We do get home field advantage, and it's the start of our second playoff run. The Mariners have become a pretty big rival for us, and Maley's looking to shut them down today. Just like last year, key matchup is going to be Cal Raleigh. Completely broken in this roster, tons of power and clutch, but he does fly out to start this game. Let's keep everything over to left as much as we can because we lost Denzel Clark out in center. Butler's not bad, but it's just a whole different level with Denzel, and speaking of a different level, George Kirby, really good starter. Most, if not all, of the Mariners' pitching core is still here in 2027. 3-1 here to Jacob Wilson, base hit. Kirby struggling a little bit out of the gate. Deep counts for the first 2 batters. Here's the MVP, Nick Kurtz. He draws a walk. Maybe a little bit anxious is Kirby. Here's Brent Rooker. We got to strike early here. He goes down swinging. The heart of our order with a golden opportunity, 2 on, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Soderstrom. That's going to be a fly out into right. It comes down to Lawrence Butler. Can he get a clutch base hit? 24th pitch of the inning. What are you doing? Not a good swing there from Lawrence. Got fooled on that curveball. Julio leading off the top of the second. Grounder to third. We've got to keep him off the board just like Cal. At least we made Kirby work a little bit there, but to not come away with any runs, that's tough. And Xavier Edwards doubles in the first run of the game. The Mariners take the lead. Nick Kurtz, can you respond? No. That knuckle curve is gross. He just threw that one at 87 miles per hour. It is an absolute pitcher's duel in Game 1, but a triple from Blumenthal, and Reynolds knocks him in. That's going to be it for Maley. Chacon made the playoff roster. He is getting a start today, and he gives up a solo shot. Make that back-to-back. Seems like we can't really get an out now, and all of a sudden it is 6-0. We're going to lose Game 1. Cabral and Gilbert match up for Game 2. Our backs are already against the wall, and fortunately not getting that bye, having to play the wild card series, this is going to be tough. And it's not like we're just playing any random team. The Mariners matched us in wins, and you know how good we were. Our playoff hopes rest on this man, the rookie. Cal Raleigh, thankfully, grounds out to third, and Cabral gets through the first unscathed. And we've seen this guy before. Logan Gilbert, .99 whip, 2.62 ERA in the regular season. He's got such an unorthodox pitching motion. The way he moves his glove up to his chest right here always fascinates me, and Wilson flies out to start the game. These guys are going to have to step up big time today. Nobody more likely to do it than this man, Nick Kurtz. Wow. That left me speechless. Opportunity with 2 outs in the second. Soderstrom on second and Donovan at the plate. I brought him in for big moments like this, and he chases that one. It goes to 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch from Gilbert. Hit hard. Out into right, to the track, to the wall. It's caught by Reynolds. Donovan can't believe it, and I can't either. So far, so good from Cabraw, but there's 2 on for Cal Raleigh. Cal with a base hit into right. That'll score a run. Doesn't get any easier. Still 2 on for Julio, who thankfully goes down swinging. That's a great pitch. Jacob Wilson with a 2-out single. We've got to do a little better here, Kurtzy. That last at-bat did not end too well. And neither does this one. Nasty splitter. Cabral continues to give Cal Raleigh big opportunities. I'm not liking this. 2 on with 2 out in the top of the 5th. And Cal, that is a laser beam into right. He is going to clear the bases. It is 3-0 Mariners, and it is getting late early. Chacon coming in again. Oh boy. Is he going to have a clean inning? Thankfully he does. Gilbert is finally out of this game, but it's a lefty Gabe Spire, and he shuts us down easily. Really feeling the heat now. Home crowd is on their feet. We've got 1 out, 2 on for Devin Taylor, the 9-hole hitter from the left side. Here's the pitch from Santos. Grounded to first. That's going to be a double play. Oh no. And the Mariners add another in the 9th. That's just insult to injury. The bases are loaded for Cal Raleigh, who thankfully flies out. But it doesn't matter because we are eliminated very easily by the Mariners, only putting up 1 run in 2 games. We were the best offense in the league during the regular season. That is a heartbreaking way to end Season 2. Episode 2, the Mariners are for sure our biggest rivals. Simming to the offseason, and the Cubs take down the Astros in the 2027 World Series. The Astros, obviously, were in our division, and we're also one of the good teams. It just tells me how close we could have been. I'm upset with the outcome here, especially after getting to the CS last year, but I can't be too mad about it because I feel like the process was really good. I set up a great team. We had 98 wins, elite run differential, but when you play a 3-game series against a really good team like the Mariners, anything can happen. We do have one great takeaway from Season 2, and that is that our guy, Kurtzy, is in full-on superstar status, winning the MVP. But as we look ahead towards next year, we're going to be losing some key pieces, and none bigger than Severino, but also Jalen Beeks, our best lefty in the bullpen. We cleared up a bunch of payroll, so I would say that the next offseason is going to be pretty exciting. You'll have to come back for Episode 3, Season 3, to see what kind of moves I make, and how far we can make it next time. Thanks for watching All In with the A's. Take care, and peace.